What's going on, everybody? It's Brendan, Dad Planet. Welcome back to the One Man Show. So I'm bringing you a What Sold on eBay video, and this covers 15 of the most exciting items that I sold from the 2-week period of August 1st through the 15th. And one of those items is a little bit awkward, kind of a little bit delicate. So towards the end of the video, I'm going to show you how I shipped that item in the event you find one in a thrift store or garage sale. And not only that, I am going to pick a winner from my most recent Shop My Cart video where we went to the Goodwill Bins and I let you pick one of the items out of my cart that goes to you absolutely free for being a subscriber to the channel. We have a winner for that one as well and a bunch of stuff in between. Let's get moving. All right, for the 2-week period, starting August 1st through the 15th, almost 5,000 in gross sales, just over 3,000 in net sales. My selling costs, $1,500, right around 31%. My average sales price, $64 or so. Very, very good. I'm only 1% off of my pace in gross sales from last year, which is actually remarkable considering that I'm working an average of 8 hours less per week. And so goals achieved, right? I'm trying to work less and then make more, really just maximize my efficiencies. So if you're factoring that in, I'm doing phenomenally well under the circumstances. Now I'm going to start working a little bit more as the fourth quarter approaches. So I will add more hours to my work week, but $64, sold 76 items. Let's take a look at 15 of the most interesting. All right, we're gonna start it off with Team Umizoomi. This is the Umi car. It came with the remote control. Now this is a long canceled show, or I don't know if they're producing new episodes of the show on Nickelodeon, but the max value you're going to get obviously comes from having the remote to go along with it. So it worked perfect. I found this at a garage sale, so only paid $2 for it. And $50 is about the going rate if you find both of these pieces together. So this buyer is $65.83 all in, and it's sold in 2 weeks. Look for Team Umizoomi items, especially the toys, because again, I think a lot of them have a higher value because they're just so hard to find and they were kind of underproduced. The only reason I knew to price these at $200 is because I saw a sold comp for this exact style, this exact set of 4. So Ikea Hendricksdal, I don't really know exactly how to pronounce that, but I sourced this at Goodwill. I think you guys saw in one of my thrift run videos, I found 2 and then I found the 3rd and then I found the 4th on the ground. They were $7 a piece. So I paid $28 for them and sold it for $200. The buyer is $251.30 all in because it was an international sale and they sold in under a month. So Ikea, again, continues to perform very, very well for me. I pick up a lot of Ikea items and I feel like just because they don't have as many physical locations and a lot of their stuff that's really popular online sells out quickly, that the secondary markets kind of kick in and make it really valuable for us to source Ikea items and sell them. So this was another great sale. I'll take it all day long. This is probably actually the 3rd, 4th, maybe even 5th monorail Cinderella's Castle playset with figures that I've sold in my eBay lifetime. So I had this listed for $125 and it sold for my full asking price. And the buyer is $183.79 all in. This only cost me $10 at a garage sale and it only took 2 weeks to sell. Now, for those of you that are interested in seeing how I shipped it, you want to see me ship some larger items, I have how I shipped this towards the end of the video, so you'll want to stay for that. And a few of you have asked me to do a full how do you ship larger items or just how are you shipping the majority of your items video. I have that video on the docket. My YouTube growth has been tremendously slow for whatever reason, so I've been waiting to kind of grow to a certain size with my watch time and all of those things before I'm comfortable putting out even more YouTube content than I currently am. So I'll have a shipping video hopefully in the future. Again, it just depends on how fast I grow. So it's on the back burner. We're just gonna have to wait a little bit longer before I'm able to put that out. But for now, if you wanna see how I shipped this particular item, I will have that towards the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. All right, this was a really cute little lamp. So it's the Bo Peep lamp from Toy Story. Now there are 2 versions of this lamp that I'm familiar with. One where the grass is sort of shaped like a dome, like the one you see in the image here. And then there's one that's flat. The one that has the grass that's flat is a little less expensive. It's not as valuable as this particular style one. So pay attention to that. If you find the dome grass, that's the one you definitely want to grab. So I paid $7 for this at Goodwill and sold it for $70. So this buyer is $90.03 all in, and it only sold in one day. It is a very popular style Toy Story lamp, and I feel like when these were sort of newer, they were selling for maybe double this. So I feel like the prices kind of come down a little bit pre-owned, but still in demand, really cute. Her little figure is removable, so when I shipped this, I wrapped her separately. I wrapped the lampshade separately, and then so there were 3 pieces all together, but this was a wonderful sale and relatively light, so it didn't cost a ton to ship, but keep your eye out for the Bo Peep lamps. All right, bronze signed sculpture from Frederick Remington. This is the Bronco Buster. Now, this is a little bit of a smaller version, so it was about 10 inches tall, and maybe the base was like 6 or 7 inches wide. So this is the maybe lesser valuable one when you are considering size. There's like a 23 or 24 inch one that is worth a ton of money, but this was still an amazing find. So I sold it for $135. This buyer is $181.06 all in. It cost me $9 at Goodwill, and it took 3 weeks to sell. This is a very popular sculpture, a very popular bronze statue, both the small size and the larger size. So keep your eye out for it. Again, this wasn't too terribly difficult to ship. I think I fit it in a 12 by 12 by 9 box, and the fact that it sold in under 3 weeks was fantastic. So keep your eye out for this specific sculpture, but if you find the 24 inch one, you're gonna make a lot of money on that. All right, this is like a noise level monitor. I think they use some of these in on hospital floors. They also work really well inside like a school room or classroom setting. So it's the Yacker Tracker. This was brand new in an open box. You guys watched me source this in a thrift run video as well. There was no price on it when I was being rung up, so she only charged me $2.99, and I sold it for $130. So this buyer is $157.02 all in. A very quick sale. It sold in under 2 weeks, and again, these sold comparables for new condition or new open box were right around $130 or so, so I priced it pretty fairly, and it sold relatively quickly, so I will take that. This was a great sale. This is actually probably the 7th or 8th Paw Patrol My Size Lookout Tower that I've sold in the last 12 months. So this one came with some figures and some cars, and I sourced this at a church sale. It only cost me $10. One of the things you have to pay attention to, there's a little trap door on the back. Sometimes that back trap door doesn't shut properly, so you'll want to pay attention to that. Just a minor thing, you might be able to get away with it if they're not using that part of the My Size Lookout Tower, but at any rate, I don't think I've sold any of these under $120. This one sold for $127.49, and the buyer is $155.70 all in. Again, only $10 for me, and it sold in under a week. This is a great sale. If you're not afraid to ship big items, this is pretty easy to kind of break down and get into a reasonably sized box or two to ship, and it's hard plastic, so you know it's durable, it'll last. All right, this item should come as no surprise. This is Lemax Spooky Town Castle. It is the Gothic ruins. It's not an easy one to find, and the model number on this one is 65342. This was a great sale and a good pickup for me. I found it at an estate sale. I only paid $5 for it, and I sold this one for $127.49 as well. This buyer is $155.19 all in. Only took me 3 weeks to sell, and this was about exactly when I expected it to sell, again with Halloween slowly approaching. So Lemax Spooky Town items, if you are not familiar with them, they sell tremendously well, and they are all sort of limited edition. I think they're sold at Michael's. I'm not sure if they're sold in any other places. If they are, please let me know. I thought these were Michael's exclusives, but I can't really confirm that. I'm not 100% certain, but Lemax Spooky Town, look for it, great sellers. This will end up being one of my favorite toys that I've sourced. So I paid $5 for this, and I'm not really sure what prompted me to look it up. It was just different and unique, and you know, when I see something that catches my eye that you don't normally see in thrift stores or on shelves or wherever, it just forced me to pick it up. So it's Tomy Curation, and I think, you know, there are some special needs children that would play with this or use this and get a benefit from it. And so I kind of liked that angle in the title from some of the sold comps that I had seen before. But even crazier is the prices that these things are now selling for. So I sold this for my full asking price of $99.99, and the buyer was $123.61 all in. Again, $5 for me. I think it sold in just a couple of weeks, but it kind of warms my heart to know, hopefully, that it did go to a child that would otherwise be able to utilize this and have it be more of a necessary toy for them to get interested in. So for that reason, I'm even more pleased that this sold. So keep your eye out for Tomy Curation. It was made in 1998. This thing worked perfect. All right, this is a vintage Hawkeye hamper laundry basket, and it wasn't the brand so much that I think sold this. I think it's the fact that it's wicker, and wicker hampers and laundry baskets seem to be selling pretty well online and for a high dollar amount. So I took an offer on this one of $63. I shipped this to Texas, and this buyer is $102.88 all in. It was only $6. I have down that it only took me a couple months to sell. It might have been a little bit longer because I did have a buyer commit to purchase this but not pay, so I had to cancel that and then get it relisted. So 3, 4, 5 months. I held on to it for a little bit longer than some of the other items that you see in this video, but it's the wicker, I think, that is really selling. So if you see a larger wicker basket in the thrift stores, don't be afraid to look it up because they are probably going to be pretty cheaply priced there. And you get a situation like this, $63, some in the $70 and $80 range, kind of can't lose. Again, if you're not afraid to ship an item like this. This was actually very easy to ship. It's well made, even though wicker is kind of delicate. I'm certain it got there in one piece. So this was a great sale. Look for that wicker pattern. Based on my research, the Coach Peanuts collaboration sold really quickly. And now the nice thing about these is it's already going to be a limited edition run, but they produce a lot less than Coach normally otherwise would, like their normal line of products. So it sells quickly, it never hits the market again, and then on the secondary markets, the prices tend to stick or even increase. So this was just a little like cosmetic case. There's nothing to it, very, very small. I found it in Goodwill. I think I paid $6 for it, and I had it listed for $100. I took an offer of $87. So this buyer is $97.21. I think they already left positive feedback. So again, a positive experience for the both of us. This took 10 weeks to sell, but I'll tell you what, the prices on this Coach Peanuts collaboration, extremely high. Now, again, is this going to be something that you're going to find every day in a thrift store? Maybe, maybe not. But the fact that it's limited edition, underproduced, universally loved, Peanuts, Snoopy, Charlie Brown, all of those characters, it kind of makes sense that they're still so expensive. So keep your eye out for Coach Peanuts, and like any of the Coach collaborations, I feel like most of them do really well, again, because of the scarcity aspect. So keep your eye out for those items. Even though this took me 1 year to sell, I got to enjoy it every day because where I do my shipping in my house, I had this hanging up on the wall and I just loved it. So Charles Wysocki, I think he does the puzzles, maybe you're more familiar with him along those lines. But this was like just Halloween, Americana, framed art. Witch's Brew was the title of this. And again, I bought it a year ago. I paid $10 for it at a garage sale and was able to enjoy it for a full year before it sold. So I sold it for $75. This buyer is $80.62 all in because this was a local pickup. So a very easy transaction for the both of us. And it's go time, right? It's that time to start really listing and getting your Halloween items sold. So even though I'm sort of sad to see it go, I'm a seller before I am a collector. So the primary goal was achieved. Great sale. I'll be honest with you, I totally forgot I even had this. So double cola is not a cola that you hear of very often, but it still had some appeal when it was produced. Had been long since discontinued, but this framed mirror went about 30 inches and maybe about 20 inches in height. And so again, with mirrors, very, very delicate, but I had this listed for $200. I sold it for $170. So the buyer is $237.38 all in, and I paid $20 for this, but I had it for 3 years. It was in like a part of my basement that things just sort of stack up against a wall, and I basically forget about them until they sell. So I could have listed this lower. In fact, I'm the only one that's got a sale, at least in the last 90 days. I didn't check Terapeak, but I'm going to put my competitor listings up on the screen for you to look at, and you can see them priced right around $100, and they're still sitting. So now that you have a sold comp for $170, if I was paying attention to that, I might raise my price to induce a faster sale. I know that a lot of people think the other way around, like maybe I need to lower my price, but with a sale now in the 150 to 170 range, I think I would be raising my price. So the condition of this item was wonderful, and let's hope it gets there safely because it's still en route as we speak. So holding my breath, but this was a pretty good sale. I will take it. All right, if you find a Waterford crystal letter opener, get it listed, because the list to sell ratio is there's not a lot of listings and there's a lot of sales. So I found this at the same church sale that I got the My Size Lookout Tower, that Paw Patrol tower, and did I pay $10 for it? I think I paid $10 for it. Sold it for 60 bucks, and this buyer is $69.63 all in. Quick seller with this one as well. Only took 2 weeks to sell. Waterford crystal, again, you got to look that brand up every single time you get a hold of it. But letter openers, for whatever reason, like maybe you should check Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, because again, there's like very few listed relative to the amount of sales in the last 90 days. So it must be a very desirable item that Waterford produces. Just food for thought. Keep that in mind. This was a lovely sale as well. Now, I might miss the Charles Wysocki framed picture. I'm really going to miss this little witchy girl. So she's got 4 legs to her. This is a Bethany Lowe, Deborah Schock caricature, and it's from 2004. I couldn't identify like her exact name, but I waited a little longer to get her listed. Some of the other ones I listed right away because I could identify them right away. I bought a bunch of them at an online auction, so she cost me around $9. But the fact that I couldn't really identify her and she just looked so unique, holding her little basket with 4 legs, I priced it at $200 because her stuff is really, really highly desirable, and it sold for my full asking price. What do you know? This buyer is $222.74 all in. She's already left glowing feedback. I packed it very carefully, and it only took 5 weeks to sell from the day that I got it listed. So Bethany Lowe, Deborah Schock, I've said it before in my videos, but if you've never heard me talk about her before, you really, really have to look for those items, because some of them will sell in like the $200-$300 range, just depending on which one you get. Very highly collectible, 15 bolos in the books. Let's take a look at how I shipped that castle. All right, so I just sold this Cinderella castle, and it has to be shipped. It's kind of big and kind of awkward. So one of the first things I want to bring to your attention here is these pieces, they used to be removable. Unfortunately, I can't remove them. So that would have shortened the overall size of this item here. So we have to be very, very careful with the top of this castle here. It comes with accessories. You'll see how I use these in a second. I'm obviously going to use the big thick bubble wrap. And then this is the box that it's going to go in. The size of this box is 22 inches by 15 inches by 13 inches. Now, this is going from Ohio to California, so it's got a long way to go. But the buyer has already paid around $47 to have it shipped. So it's all taken care of. It's now my responsibility to at least get it to the carrier in one condition. So I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna bubble wrap this part first, and then what we're going to use this for here in just a second. Okay, we're back. Here's our little castle wrapped. I have the sides taped, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there should be enough padding here at the top, but it's not going to go into the box vertically. I'm going to put it in the box horizontally. That way there's less potential impact here at the top, and that probably ensures that it will get to its destination in one piece, more so than it otherwise would if we were standing it up straight. So if you can see, it fits in the box like here almost perfect, right? And there's a little bit of leeway at the top. Now this right here is the accessories. I have these wrapped. This is going to act as a pillow to go underneath there, so I should have probably lobbied it in there first, but this is going to act so that the tip of the castle has something to rest on, and that will prevent any unnecessary shifting. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that in there underneath this next. Now that that is underneath, this is sort of resting on top here, but I have, if you can see inside the box, I got a little bit of space here and right here. Now I could fill that with bubble wrap. I've got plenty of it left, so if I wanted to do so, I could do that. I have these little cardboard inserts from another box. I don't know, I must have pulled them out of a dumpster. And this is gonna fit quite nicely, like right here. So I'm gonna slide this in and just make sure that I can get it so that I can shut the box. And this adds even an additional layer of protection for the top of the castle. And then this piece right here, I think I can probably just sort of lodge in here. Sorry if the camera work is getting a little bit sloppy, but I'm doing this with one hand. So I have those in there. Yes, this will add a little bit more weight than bubble wrap would. Again, I'm not concerned about that. The buyer has already paid, but it looks like I will be able to shut this box pretty easy, get it taped up, and even with a little bit of room right in here, there's not going to be much movement at all here, and this is nice thick bubble wrap, so we're looking good. Let's box this up. Okay, we're all taped up. It weighs just over 7 pounds, so we call it 8 pounds here. And the dimensions of the box, again, 22 by 15 by 13. It's only gonna cost me, what, $37 if I use FedEx. Let me see if I can scroll down while I'm filming, see if we can get a better deal at UPS Ground. UPS Ground is $37.02. I think that's probably the one I'm going to choose. So when you add the supplies and the bubble wrap, it kind of evens itself out here, but we're looking pretty good at this point. Okay, let's pick a winner here. Put in the URL. I do this so infrequently, I always forget how to do it. Filter duplicate users. Filter comments based on a text. No, let's not do that. Remove winner from list after draw. Don't need any of that. So I think we're just going to filter duplicates, right? And then answer this question. Get the amount of comments. So amount of unique comments, 95. And then I think we hit this button here. All right, let's do it. What do we got? Debbie, way to go. You are the winner. If I am picked the Vineyard Vines tie, congratulations. I'm going to send you that tie. You got to send me an email to dadplanetofficial@gmail.com. Send me your address and I will get that in the mail. Congratulations. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that. Brendan here, Dad Planet, the one-man show. Hit that like button if you liked what you saw or you learned something today, and then always consider becoming a member of the Dad Planet family by subscribing and hitting the bell notification icon so that you know every single time I upload a video to YouTube. That is it. That's all I have for you. I'm headed to the thrift store. I'll see you in the next video.